Okay, good afternoon. I'm Ana Ribeiro from Inova Plus from Portugal. I'm here with Xenofon and Stefani, partners from DigiTraining. As Xenofon was saying, we have still a full afternoon to show you the results of DigiTraining. So our intention today is to go a little bit through what was the project, its different stages, and where the beneficiaries were involved. And of course we will start by what we call the general program. Was an initial phase of capacity building about digital and visual heritage, or capacity building for heritage. So first we are going to watch a short video, and then me and Xenofon will talk a little bit about what was the general program, the participation, and the contents. Okay, so this short video was about our capacity building program. This occurred more or less during the summer of last year. It was a challenge, of course. We had, as I think it was explained in the video, we had more than 100 applications, and we decided also to accept more participants than it was estimated first. So we had more than 100 participants of more than 80 cultural and heritage organizations from all over Europe with the most diverse characteristics. And this training program that we did, it was totally held online. It was a mix of synchronous and asynchronous sessions. And basically the idea for this program was to try to introduce digitization in this sector and try to convey this message that digitization means lots of things. So, and each partner or each participating partner from DigiTraining tried to give its input to convey this message that digitization is about creating a strategy, is about selecting what is important, is about communicating, is about changing working tools, is about very different things. So we had 8 modules in this general program, and usually we divide this, let's say informally, the capacity building program in what we call the managerial component and the technical component. So one partner, Inova Plus, was more responsible for the managerial component. This is in the sense of saying that digitization cannot just be implemented by itself. It requires, as I was saying, a strategy. It requires an engagement inside the organization. It requires competencies of different people at the organization at different levels. It requires different communication with our audiences and with our stakeholders. So our modules were basically to give an overview of all of these implications and also some tools that museums can use to define their strategies. And then we have this, what I usually say is a very appealing component, let's say the technical component, where especially Fort, but also Cora and Armin were involved in this part. So now I pass the word to Xenofon to explain a little bit in what consisted this part of the capacity building.
Thank you. So as most of the audience knows, digitization is to take a picture of the world or to take a 3D scan of the world, and this is what you see on your screen right now. Digitization on multiple scales, from large to small, in indoors and in the outdoors, where it is digitization of structures, of fabrics, of human creations, of beautiful things, of useful things, but also of human activities. Next slide, please. So human activities can be digitized as well, like in motion. And also the artifacts that we see at the museum are accompanied by stories, narratives. They carry a story, so we learned how to digitize stories as well in order to present the digital assets in multiple and informative ways. So what were the events you want to talk about? Were the objects involved, were the people involved, and of course present them in multimodal ways, not only audio as you use all the times in audio guides, but in movies and so on. So there are a number of modalities that are available for presentation, and we learned how to use several of them, some in the general program and some in the more specific and qualified programs. Next slide, please. So what you see now on your screen is various ways to say these stories. The first, we all know it's a book illustration, but it's a way to use your digital assets and create stories about your museum. Either it is for a leaflet, either it is for online presence, or even for an audio guide. So, but there are other ways also, like you saw in 3D, and so on. In order to express and communicate this content, we provided this content to beneficiaries, but the legacy of DigiTraining retains, and we have all of our educational material online as training books and handbooks so that then everybody can use them. So, thank you.
Let me just highlight this that Xenophon mentioned. It is very important to stress this, that the materials that were developed during the project for sure are useful, as our European Commission representative mentioned. They will be available for the use of everybody, freely available. And I think now we will pass to the next part.
Okay, excellent. So this was a great introduction, and thank you again for your patience for everyone online. This project, DigiTraining, has engaged some very interesting and really thoughtful, applications of digital and digital technology enhancement to CHIs across Europe. And so we want to take a look at some of the beneficiaries who made it to the specific program. The specific program, there were 6 beneficiaries who were chosen to participate in more intensive activities. And these 6 will be featured now. So without further ado, I would like us to go straight into the video presentations.
Coming to the DigiTraining specific program, we have two possibilities. We ask for 2 possibilities. If you agree, the importance is that we reach the objective and to give a search system that designed probably with an ontologist. It would be probably the best system.
Our main objective is to digitize some of our more problematic exhibits.
We would like to know our possibilities and what we can make, and we have a lack on digitize our content. So we don't have artifacts, we have models, interactive models where the people can go and touch and see what happens. So it could be a way to call more people to have the digitism of that model. The medical museum wants to be able to present new digital possibilities and to strengthen the culture around digital products. So this also touching a bit upon on the digital strategy that they want to endeavor. They would really like as well to draft their own digital strategy. This was a common trait that we noticed that most museums didn't have. And at the same time, they will be working with Ford and Channel Phone on a new presentation modality of their collection. So this will be either audio or interactive or multimedia presentation modality that they will develop together. And at the same time, a big important part of this will be to work on the narrative and the adaptation of the narrative to this specific presentation modality that they choose to go on with.
Hi, my name is Vlad Paraschimanu and I work at the Prahova County Museum of History and Archaeology from Ploiești, Romania. Our institution is one of the beneficiaries of the specific program from DigiTraining, and our main objective for this part of the program was to digitize some of our museum pieces, more specifically to create 3D images of them. With the help of Xenophon Zaboulis and his team from Forth, we managed to accomplish this objective. Because of the work here at the museum, we haven't managed to completely recreate 3D images of all the pieces at the museum, but we are very proud of our work that we managed to do. And I hope that you will like the objects in the presentation that will follow this video. Thank you very much for accepting us in the program, and I hope that if you are in the area, you will please come and visit us. Thank you very much.
If everything goes well, we'll see Vlad now, and I would like to welcome him. Thank you for his kind words, and introduce him and say hello. Can you hear us, Vlad?
For the specific program, and we are very thankful for being accepted in the specific program, because it really helps to develop some new digital strategy. And now I don't know if you can. Oh, okay. So I can't screenshot. I had the presentation of some of the objects that we managed to digitize.
Must say that while you do so, must say that due to COVID restrictions, we're very proud of your work, because you actually did this yourself. We couldn't visit you, but we did this everything online, and you managed to do so without us being there actually to show.
Yes. Well, I managed to manage it, let's say, quite well from my point of view, because this was the first time, and using a few improvisations, that I managed to create a studio out in the museum courtyard.
You would like to share a presentation, if we understood well, or no? Vlad, you were saying that you wanted to share some of the objects?
Okay, then if you're showing the presentation.
Yeah, I had a presentation. I don't know if you can
We cannot.
Yes,
We
maybe.
see you, not the presentation. I can see that you are switching windows from the reflection, but most likely you have to share another window or share another part of the screen.
Just give us some seconds because it can be about the permissions for you to share your screen. I think now we were already able to see. So Vlad is the representative of one of the museums that very actively participate in the specific program, the Prahova District Museum in Romania. And after his testimony, he wanted to share this presentation. And as Xenophon was saying, there was no physical visit of DigiTraining to Prahova, but they managed to very successfully implement what they envisioned for DigiTraining. And I think we can now see, I don't know if Vlad wants to talk. If you are there, Vlad, please, the floor is yours to go through the presentation.
What we see here is the digitization of challenging objects. For those that have know the problems, shiny objects are quite difficult to digitize because they look different from each viewpoint. And so what you see here is a photogrammetric result that has been constructed by taking images around the object and reconstructing its 3D structure and visual appearance. And yeah, this is what the slide shows, is the reconstruction result. On the top. On the top row, you can see what we call a point cloud, and on the bottom row, you see the photogrammetric reconstruction from two viewpoints.
Okay, I don't know if Vlad will continue to pass through the slides of the presentation. Okay, then I think we should probably move on to another participant. Also because, as we said, our apologies, we had some technical issues, which is a good lesson for DigiTraining, but it happens. So we need to tight a bit our time. So thank you very much, Vlad, for your work, for participating in a conference online, for your commitment, and congratulations for your work and participation. Next, we are going to see a video, and here you can also see the huge diversity of participants that we have. The next museum that we are going to focus is the Ethnographic Museum of Istria in Croatia. So if the video is set up, we can go on. The representative is not here online today, Mario, but he is represented with what you are going to watch now.
The Ethnographic Museum of Istria, which is a regional museum in Croatia. Istria, in fact, is one of Croatian regions. We are, let's say, a small museum in the base of employees. We are around six, seven professionals working in it, and totally we are about 10 with other technical staff. And we are located in a very old building in a medieval castle from 10th century. And let's say that the Ethnographic Museum was born in the process of formation of museum started in early 50s, but formally it started in beginning of 1960s. So we are dedicated. We are a kind of referential institution for collecting, conserving, documentation, and representation of local original cultural heritage, and of material and immaterial culture of related to local ethnography, traditions, customs, and generally local way of life. So in this second phase, in the specific program, of course, the expectation is to to work on something more concrete. So to work on some needs that have been shared, and to have a concrete knowledge and perhaps a product, a final product that could be worked on during this training process. Yeah. Every new knowledge, every new skill that you learn, every new thing that you are aware that exists and that you can apply in your daily tasks is something that benefits you personally, directly, and indirectly, and also directly to your organization, which at the end of the day communicates and shares to the wider public. So it's a kind of process that is interrelated, interlinked, that making better us and the organization would eventually benefit also and reach a wider public, especially regarding the topic, which is the digital one. So we are talking about the digital sphere and environment.
Thank you again. This was a presentation of the work that was done by the Ethnographic Museum of Istria. When Mario was talking, they were talking about their, let's say, the future plans for the specific program, and then so this was made concrete, let's say, in a twofold way. So on one hand here, the work of Xenophon focused on the development of an audio guide for their permanent exhibition, and on the, again, managerial side, the support for them, firstly, to introduce the concept and the process of developing a digital strategy in the museum. So this was the approach and the output for the Istria Museum. And now we are going to watch the video of one third participant, also very special one of the specific program, the Museum Galileo from Italy. And I think that afterwards we will be able to talk a little bit with Marco. But first, let's watch the video.
Yes, we are Museum Galileo, formerly known as Institute and Museum of History of Science, and we host a scientific collection that we inherited from Medici and Lorraine families. The world, our world is rapidly evolving, and so we need to study continuously new things. When I started working for the museum, the software application are just starting to be used, and I need a continuous studying formation to understand, to use, to apply new technologies. our aim is to spread the knowledge of the history of science, and so we can do it also online. And I find this program very interesting because really it is what we need, because it's, as I said before, it's important for us to improve our skills. Otherwise, we are not able to keep track. And sometimes, unfortunately, we don't have the resources nor the time to study new technologies, to how to apply new technologies, and so it's important to have some guidance.
Okay, nice, thank you. So again, this was Marco Berni when we were together in Paris for the wonderful intermediary event in a very nice venue in October, where we were able to gather the beneficiaries of the specific program. And now I'm seeing already a presentation about Museum Galileo, and I don't know if Marco is online and available to talk to us.
Marco is online.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello, Marco. Buonasera.
Hello.
How are
Hi.
you?
Fine, thanks. Can you see the screen? The shared
Yes,
screen?
perfectly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
So, welcome. First of all, thank you very much for participating. Thank you for your testimony, for your commitment. And so we would like to hear about you, about Museo Galileo, and of course about your experience with DigiTraining. So you have the mic and the floor.
Thank you. And hi, everyone. And I'm Marco Berni from the Museo Galileo. I'm sorry not to be able to be with you in the presence, but unfortunately there was a mix-up with the travel agency. But however, I'm happy to be able to participate in the final meeting of the project, which I consider a very useful initiative for the museum. And here we are, for those who don't know us, we are located in the very center of Florence, near Palazzo Vecchio and the Uffizi Galleries. We were founded in 1927, and we host a noted museum of scientific instruments, an institute dedicated to the research, documentation, dissemination of the history of science. We also host a specialized library, a multimedia laboratory, a department for educational activities. In the specific program, which we had the honor to participate with, we focused on socials, and we had a social media audit, we had a mentoring session, and okay, so we were able to improve our social presence. That is a weakness of the museum, and DigiTraining gave us the opportunity to have greater awareness of the problems and a way to overcome them. Behind what has been done with the specific project, I hope this is a starting point for carrying out new collaborative projects in the long term. So if you have new ideas or proposal, feel free to contact me. And okay, I think we are late, so it's all, and thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you very much, Marco. Thank you for being there and also for sharing your experience. Okay, we can see you now. Okay, so we did this, let's say, was the second stage of our session today. We started by briefly introducing you with a general program, the capacity building program. Then we did an overview of the 6 beneficiaries that went with us through what we call the specific program with a bit more tailored support. Out of these 6, we already heard more details about 3 of them, and we saw videos from Prahova. We were with Vlad from Ethnographic Museum of Istria, and now from Galileo. And now we, let's say, go to the final stage of the selected beneficiaries. So out of these 6, there were 3 museums that continued with the DigiTraining team, let's say, until the end. These were what we called the qualified program. So they received, let's say, even more dedication and support from the DigiTraining consortium. I think I can say especially from Cora, to produce an audiovisual product that I'm sure Matthias will be able to explain much better. But what we will see next is also an illustration of the 3 products of the participants of the qualified program. And I think we will have also the privilege to talk with 2 of the participants, but we will get there very quickly. So I think now we have an introduction to qualified program, right? Let's go. Okay, great. Thank you. So this was an overview of our 3 participants from the qualified program. Right now we will look into more detail each of the products, but they are very exciting. And let me just say that Cora brought the visual, virtual reality glasses, and we were able to experiment already, and they are really nice and very exciting. So the first qualified program participant is Centro de Ciência Viva do Algarve, so it's a science museum, let's say, in Portugal, and we are going to watch the video and then talk a little bit with Cristina.
Hello, my name is Cristina. I'm the Executive Director of Centro de Ciência Viva do Algarve, which has been part of DigiTraining program and has been luckily chosen for the qualified program. It has been a pleasure mostly to work with the team of Cora. Several meeting online, and then Cora team came to this wonderful site, and we spoke again in a meeting with several people of the team. And that's when we went all together for a trip in the Ria. And we also look at the different subjects that we are presenting in our center. One of our subjects is, for instance, the plastic and how we can avoid plastic, look at the plastic in the environment and do recycling of the plastic. The subject that we work here is related to the ecosystems and their services. So speaking about what we can retrieve from the environment, and who is working in front of one of our aquariums where we can see some seahorses, although they are not easy to find. And this is one of the reasons we chose the virtual reality to work on. Seahorses are the target of several risks and they are disappearing from our region. So it is urgent to work for their conservation and management as a lot of other species. We have to engage people to look at our environment and protect it, not only for seahorses, but a lot of other animals, seagrasses, etc. Finally, that's what we chose, having a virtual reality movie that will show our seahorses, but also their environment, with seagrasses giving oxygen to the water and to all the beings in the water, salt crystal as mathematic in shells. Cora helped us to recognize this intention and to link the different scales of what we want to show and what we do speak in our activities, in our museum, in our community and in our environment. So thank you for all, and hopefully in a few days we'll have all it in our center. Thank you.
Okay, very nice. Hello, Cristina, are you there? Can you hear us?
Yes, hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, welcome. Thank you for being online. You were already in the morning with us. Thank you for waiting, and congratulations also for your commitment to the project. We wanted to have some words, some feedback on your side. I see that you have also a presentation, so I give you the mic immediately. Go ahead.
Thank you, Anna. I have a short presentation just to speak about this last qualified program, and I will do it very quickly. First of all, to say that you didn't see that, but that's our museum. That's where we are, near a lagoon system. And that's why we think that natural heritage is part of what we wanted to present in this project. The second thing that you didn't see, there is that wall that is facing the lagoon, in which we want to represent the inclusion we want to speak about in our science center, together with the community, local community. So here you have a woman and a man that work in the lagoon as fishing or aquaculture. And in between you have some picture designs of the biology that is in the Ria Formosa. That's the name of the natural park that is there. It is a system lagoon, and inside of our science museum, science center, we have some aquariums and a touch pool linked to this environment. So those were the premise of the work we did with Cora. And when Matthias and Peter visit us in January, they had a look at our center. So on the left side, we have Peter with a starfish in the end from the touch pool, speaking about on the terrace, speaking about the environment. We also did a small boat tour in the lagoon. And we spent a day speaking and brainstorming, in which we defined that we wanted to have environmental heritage in the final product. Of course, science, it should be inclusive and also a positive message. And as you saw in the small video before, so we show several themes that were very present in our activity: seahorses, the seagrass, the microplastic, and nature and mathematics through shell and salt crystals. And of course, the virtual reality was the main objective, to go through different sizes and visions into these different subjects. So you saw already those videos on the right side, but you didn't saw the one on the left side, that is the one from our aquarium, and where we can see the amazing relation, and I'm amazed about the modeling that Cora managed to do. At the beginning, I thought we were going to film, to have a movie to be sure that it was the same, but indeed the model is really nice. And on the next slide, I wanted to show you, so you saw also this one on the right side, still the modeling from Cora, and on the left side, it's a video taken underwater. So as you can see, we are going to be able to transmit the nature, the heritage, what we wanted. And it really looks like an immersive dive into the Ria Formosa lagoon. It shows science, and hopefully it will engage through different subjects: climate change, blue carbon, microplastics, math. It will be inclusive, since we have several languages, 2 languages, Portuguese and English, with subtitles, and also some subtitles for the tourists that go around. And it will be a new installation at Ciência Viva. So we are very happy, and thank you to all the team of this project, and for the result that we are going to have quite soon in place. That was what I wanted to show and speak of.
Okay, Cristina, thank you very much. It was very exciting, your testimony. And as we tried already your product, I think we, at least us here in the room, we know exactly what you are talking about, and I'm sure it will have a real impact on those who try it and achieve this, convey this message that you want to pass. So thank you very much for joining us. Please stay with us for the next part. But now we are going to watch the video about the Museu Episcopal de Vic. So we go to a different reality, we go to a different country, and to a different product developed in the qualified program.
Hi, it is Jordi from MEP Museu d'Art Medieval in Vic, Catalonia. We are working to be an open, social and accessible museum. We are now, but we are also 1,000 years ago. In order to be social, open and accessible museum, we think that the digital side of the map is really important. It is a crucial aspect. So the DigiTraining has enabled us to deepen even more into this aspect. Regarding the third stage of the DigiTraining, the qualified program, we are having a super great experience with Cora. We are really happy to be taking part of this project. So we started this third stage the last winter, and Cora came to our museum and we started to explore different possibilities. They firstly showed us what they can do with their technology, mostly virtual reality and augmented reality. And well, due to the politics and requirements of our museum, we decided that telling a story through augmented reality could be the best fit for us. So having discussed this, we visited the museum with the guides and we started brainstorming with the aim of telling a story through augmented reality. We ended up with 3 works of art that could explain or easily explain the fight between the goodness and the badness, which was an everyday topic back in the Middle Ages that was also used to transmit some coexistence values. Regarding the final result, which is yet to be implemented, we are now in the final stages of the project. The idea is to have a route in the museum, physically, that will include these 3 pieces we chose, in which the visitor will be able to follow the story we created through a tablet. They will see some animations of the work of art, which Cora has been working on these animations. And at the same time, they will be listening to the manuscript we wrote through the expertise of our curators. Qualified program has enabled us to explain these new stories for the attending visitor in the map and in a more enjoyable way. If I had to define the DigiTraining program in 3 words, the first thing that comes to my mind is digital. Then I think the word interesting in the sense that we've learned a lot, and we've learned that we have lots of possibilities to explain through digital and technology different stories. And then I would say enjoyable. We've had a really good time and we've had fun with Cora, with the meeting in Paris, and talking to lots of persons during these months. So yes, we've enjoyed the taking part into this project. So that's it. We're really grateful and thank you very much.
Thank you, Jordi. Very nice. Jordi is not going to be online with us, but I think after all of this, no more words are needed. It's very illustrative, the work that is being done, that is being completed, and also the experience of DigiTraining. So I think we will pass to the video of our last museum of the qualified program, the Medical Museum in Denmark. And I hope we can still also have a short talk with Julie.
My name is Julie and welcome to Medical Museum in the middle of Copenhagen. Our museum is all about health and medical history and science. And actually we say that our museum is for everyone who has a body. We have been very happy to be part of the digital program, especially the qualified program, where we have developed a virtual reality project together with Cora. We started the development of the virtual reality and the cooperation with Cora in April last year. It all started with one big brainstorm. We were 15 or 20 colleagues from the museum, researchers, curators, conservators, and we saw how we could use virtual reality for educational purposes and for museums. And it was a completely new world that opened up. It was important to me and to us that the virtual reality project would give our audience a new idea about their own body. I wanted them to think more about how amazing the human body is, because it's not something that we think about in everyday life. Furthermore, it was important to us that we used the medium in the best way possible, and we wanted to give the viewers more than they could just read on a wall or see for themselves when looking at an object. We wish to play with the senses and the feelings that is possible through the virtual reality. At the brainstorm, one of the curators came with that idea that we could do something about the eye and about losing your sight. And the idea came because we already have an exhibition about how it is to be blind. But let me show you a bit more. And let me just show you where we will place the virtual reality glasses. We're gonna build a wall here with information, and then people can sit down here and experience how it is to be blind in the middle of our exhibition about blindness. The eye consists of many individual parts that together gives us the ability to see the world around us. We really liked the idea about the eye, and it has been very fun to work with. At this moment we still haven't seen the final result from Cora, but it will come any day now. But the idea is that when you put the glasses on, you will experience different eye illnesses, and you will also get a tour through the eye. We also made new collaborations for this project. After we decided to work with the eye, I contacted the director for the Eye Association in Denmark, and we also teamed up with an eye specialist to make sure that the content was correct. Together with the two professionals and Cora and with my team, we selected the different eye illnesses that you can see in the experience. Then we worked on the storyboard together with Cora, and we started filming 2 months ago. Soon the film will be ready, and we look very much forward to seeing it. Enjoy your stay in Brussels. Bye!
Hello, I hope you can hear it. It is a very exciting video that we saw. I already have questions because myself I work in computer vision, so I understand, I know they are not me of the eye, but it is very interesting, the idea to simulate various types of color blindness. So thank you. We thank you that you are with us today, and the floor is on you.
Thank you so much. And hello everyone, this is me. I'm the digital curator in Copenhagen at Medical Museum. And just a few words about our museum. We are located in the center of Copenhagen, and we collect and examine medical science and health. And we have a very old building, as you can see on the image, and an old auditorium. And we have a lot of fetuses and skeletons, and also DNA in our exhibitions, and a large collection of human remains. Here we have one of our conservators at work, and we also work with
contemporary artists that are interested in the field between science and art. And as you saw in the film, we have worked very closely with COA. Here we are at their office. So I do not want to say so much about the process, but I want to tell you a bit about what will happen in the future with our project. And I'm now working on how to communicate the virtual reality. So we want to do a press release, and we want to communicate it on our different communication platforms. And also we have already started some collaboration with the social and healthcare training program. And they especially are interested in this product because they work with old people and they work with old that has eye illnesses. Furthermore, we have talked about creating educational material together with Eye Union in Denmark. And also we think we can use this for something that we bring along with us to academical events and seminars. So we would like to show it in that kind of context. Also, it's my wish to write a small article about the whole experience, and in that way show the world about our virtual reality. And we also have a big network in Copenhagen with around 100 museums where we meet and talk about our work. And here we also wish to show what we have done. So that was a bit short, but that was all for me.
Thank you very much. I always call you Julie. I'm sorry, perhaps I won't learn today the correct name, the correct way to say your name, but thank you so much, and thank you also for your testimonial, for your input. So these were the, let's say, the main DigiTraining experiences. Again, I think I won't say more because the videos and the representatives of the museums speak for themselves, and their excitement about being able to highlight and to pass the message of their museums even with more impact. And I think it's clear from their words that that is going to be achieved. So now we are going to do a short break, I think. And after this, so after sharing all this experience of what has been DigiTraining and what we have produced and what we have learned, in the next part, the DigiTraining partners are going to talk a little bit and also be available for questions. And of course that from our side we did learn a lot as well, and I think we want to share those lessons learned, what we learned with all of you. So see you in 15 minutes. We'll be back.